Alright, greetings citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and we're going to be playing some Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the Trilogy. I don't know if we're going to play the whole trilogy or just the first game or whatnot, but we're going to find out here if this is a good game. This was suggested by Blade, and it's been a game that I've been wanting to play for a while. I don't know if it's like Danganronpa or how different it is. I know there's a courtroom and whatnot, so let's get started. Play this game. Alright, so Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. So I would guess that since this is the first one that came up, it would be the first one. And if you look at the years on the bottom, this looks like the first one. So we'll go with this. See what it's about. Ace Attorney, the first one. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Oh, and let me say that happy 4th of July to everybody out there. If you're American and you're in the United States, happy 4th of July. If you're not, then I hope you're having just a wonderful day, night, whatever it may be for you. So let's see what this is all about. Ace Attorney. I've had this for a while and haven't played it, so kind of excited to see what it's all about. And an achievement right off the bat. Nice. Dang it, why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. How is that a chief wearing that outfit? I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it doesn't look like a chief to me. Ooh, glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and well, your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair, oh! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Ah, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Not sure about that last name, but we'll just ignore it for now. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anybody that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case. To clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. We're going to try anyways. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thanks. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh my gosh. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me what's the victim's name? Did I get the... I don't know the victim's name. What did you say so far? Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim, of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. No doubt. Hey Carl, how you been? Long time no see. Everyone has an odd name in the English translation of Ace Attorney, but I love them. Yeah, the Larry Butts is kind of interesting. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the right bumper to check it out anytime, okay? Remember, check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. It's in the case report, autopsy, case death due to trauma. Cindy's. What's her last name though? I guess that's all I get is Cindy. Cindy. Mr. Wright, who's the victim in this case? Cinder Block. We'll go Cindy Stone because the other ones just don't make sense. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was due to blunt trauma. A blunt object. How you been, Carl? It's been a long time. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was a statue of the thinker, who was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the right bumper to check the court records frequently. I got it. I read it when it came up. I'm good. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call his first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant Mr. Butts to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Could be. Let's see what happens. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Payne the wimp. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyways? Mr. Butts, what you described is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Alright, so the victim was apparently home from Paris on 7:30 the day before the murder. Got it. Indeed, she appeared to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way! The victim was a model but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! You can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right? I don't think you wanted him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions, so should I stop him from answering? My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof, wince! Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I met her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Mr. Butts, shut up. Shush it. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motion is clear to everyone. Motive. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there, I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so like I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies the matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. It's probably the guy who did the deed. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call as witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's buildings. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. He's the one that did it. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscription, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment and I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Well, he just said he didn't go inside, but then he said he used the phone inside. Liar! I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Huh. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Then how could he see anything? Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Miss Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Electricity in Mrs. Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor. All right, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you expose the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? Hold the key. You hold the key. It's in the evidence. I can't read. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court records and the witness testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay, open the court records with the right bumper, then point out the contradiction in the testimony. Alright, here we go. Gonna see how this works. Alright, I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing the apartment. It was noon to 6 p.m. The victim was apparently 7:30. It was 4 to 5 p.m. Alright, let's keep going. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment and I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working, but he just... Never mind. I went to the nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant right over there. That's all of it. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Examine the court records with the right bumper. If something strikes you as being suspicious, then find the evidence that contradicts his testimony and present it to the court. Alright, let's see how this works. I'm not seeing anything yet, so let's keep going. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment, then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving dead. I quailed and frightened myself, unable to go inside. Alright, I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see any contradiction. Oh, really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Alright, I was going door to door. What else could I do? There's nothing here that says... Go to the part where she said, I looked inside the apartment, then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving dead. Unable to go inside, but then he did go inside though. So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes, I mean, no, nothing. Okay, what happened next? The phone in her apartment wasn't working. Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't, right? But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Okay, so it's not in the court, it's not in the evidence, it's in what he said. I get it now. Alright. I already caught that, but I was like, how do I bring it to their attention? Now I know. But you said you didn't go to the apartment, or did you? Oh, that. I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartments. Alright, what time did you call again? I remember the time was it was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Alright, what time was her time of death? Objection! There we go. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does. I don't see anything. What are you talking about? He said it was 1 p.m. and she died at... Oh, I guess I'm not on the right part of his statement. Okay, let me do it again. Alright, let's go back and do it again. When he says 1 p.m., we'll go back to and say the woman not moving. I thought to call the police. However, the phone wasn't working. I went to the nearby public phone. I remember the time exactly. Alright. Are you certain? Yes, absolutely. He seems really confident. 1 p.m. Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that right now. You got it. I'm gonna do it. Objection, fool! You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, I was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain the 3-hour gap? Oh, that. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a real good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Alright, where are we going now? Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright, here we go. Witness testimony. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. There was a power outage, so that's a lie. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video or a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Lies. Huh. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. You know what to do. I do. I got this one. Alright, here we go. This one's easy. Easy peasy. I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time is probably coming from the television. So let's go.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television, right? I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time.
Objection!
Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Alright, here we go. What's this time? What's gonna be this time? Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. It wasn't. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear it. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. You are so wrong.
Objection!
It was a statue. Wait a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock What? You with your objections and your evidence? Just who do you think you are? Answer the questions, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may... Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all? Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yes. There's a gaping hole in this witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to have held it in his hands. Yet the witness testified he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I was in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound you must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw, no. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and he should burn, give him death. Not so sure about that. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25 p.m. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Act! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely this discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forget one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Dang it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, I Seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. Means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination for Mr. Frank Sawit. Oh man, come on. Come all the way down here to testify and see what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ah, tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. I'm going to say it's her passport. That's the only thing that makes sense because she was in Paris and the time difference could be 3 hours.
Take that!
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day. There. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home? That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit, or should I say Mr. Did It? He's gonna hyperventilate. He fell over. Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than I expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and he has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Nice. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and smashed her across the head. And he compounded his crimes and should have just ran out or something. He didn't have to kill her. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Woo, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks. Chief, I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong with now? Nick, don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good, wait, no, what? I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can't practically see the headlines now. Harry Bus. It's not his name. It's Larry, but innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I wasn't the only one who got off the hook. Got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay? Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Alright, let's check out options. What do we got here? Save or load game. Save. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make this a short stream tonight because I was out in the heat all day yesterday and out in the dust and everything, and it's really affecting my throat. So I'm having a hard time not coughing and hacking right now. So I'll be back probably, I want to say Wednesday night, but I'm not 100% sure, but I'll be definitely back on Sunday during the day, so we can see there. It looks like Mondays aren't the best night for streaming. I'll keep trying to see if people show up, but seems like most people are busy on Monday nights. If that turns out to be the case, then I'll just make that a night that I don't stream. But if you guys want to see me stream on particular nights, let me know so that I know what your guys' schedule is and I can work around that. So anyways, until next stream or video, take care. Bye-bye now. Static Buzz out. Well, that's kind of a fun game. I don't mind it at all. It takes a little bit of thinking, but not much. Well, that's just the first case, though, right? So who knows what happens later on.